Relationships. They're a fascinating dance, aren't they? Full of twists, turns, and the occasional misstep. The delicate balance of leadership is intriguing, especially in the dynamics between men and women. The longing for a man who leads, yet the struggle to relinquish control. An independent woman yearning for a partner who takes charge. She wants security but hesitates when he steps up. This push and pull speaks to modern relationships. The desire for a man who leads isn't about wanting to be controlled. It's about seeking a partner who embodies strength and decisiveness. Imagine facing a challenge, having someone who steps up and navigates the storm with you. This yearning often stems from a deep need for security. A partner who exudes confidence creates a sense of safety and care. So, we've established that the desire for a strong leading partner is deeply rooted in a woman's psyche. But here's the paradox. Letting go of control can feel incredibly daunting. It's a strange juxtaposition, wanting someone to lead yet struggling to relinquish the reins. This struggle often arises from a lifetime of conditioning that encourages women to be independent and self-reliant. From a young age, girls are taught to be strong, capable, and in control of their own lives. So when it comes to relationships, surrendering that control can feel counterintuitive, almost like a betrayal of everything they've been taught. And then there's the fear of being let down, of having your trust broken. When you're used to handling things yourself, relinquishing control requires a leap of faith. What if he doesn't make the right decisions? What if he doesn't prioritize your needs? These are legitimate fears that can make letting go feel incredibly risky. Now, some might say, but Esther isn't wanting a man to lead a bit old-fashioned? A throwback to a time when women were expected to be subservient? It's a valid question, but it's more nuanced than that. It's about wanting security and stability. Life is unpredictable, and having a partner who steps up can be reassuring. It's about knowing you're not alone. This desire for security taps into something primal within us. Let's face it, ladies, we carry a lot on our shoulders. We're juggling careers, families, social lives, and trying to maintain some semblance of sanity in the process. It's exhausting. And in this whirlwind of responsibilities, it's only natural to crave a partner who can share the load, who can step up and take some of the weight off our shoulders. It's about having a partner who's proactive, who takes initiative, who sees what needs to be done, and does it without being asked. It's about feeling supported, about knowing that you're not in this alone. Now, I'm not saying that women aren't decisive. We make countless decisions every single day, from what to wear to what to eat to how to raise our children. But let's be honest, sometimes decision fatigue is real. And in those moments, having a partner who can confidently take the reins, who can make a decision and stick to it, can be incredibly attractive. Think about those endless debates about where to eat, what movie to watch, or where to go on vacation. Sometimes, it's not that we don't have an opinion, it's that we're tired of constantly having to choose. We long for someone who can say, "I've got this, let's go here, watch this, or book that trip." It's not about being indecisive or incapable of making our own choices. It's about appreciating a partner who can provide clarity, direction, and a sense of purpose. It's about feeling secure in the knowledge that someone's got a plan, even if it's just deciding what to have for dinner. Now, I know what you might be thinking, Esther. This all sounds a bit traditional, and you're right, to some extent it is. But it's important to acknowledge the historical context shaping our desires. Men have been socialized to be leaders and providers. While we've made progress, these expectations still resonate. Wanting a man who leads doesn't conflict with modern values. It's about recognizing different strengths within a relationship. In a truly equal partnership, both partners feel empowered. You see, the desire for a man who leads isn't about wanting a dictator in the relationship. It's about seeking clarity, direction, and a sense of purpose. It's about knowing that someone's got a plan, even if it's just for the weekend. It's about feeling secure in the knowledge that you're not alone in navigating the complexities of life. When a woman has a partner who can step up and take charge, it frees her to relax, to let go of the mental load, and to simply enjoy the ride. It allows her to be fully present in the relationship, knowing that someone's got her back. It's about finding that sweet spot where both partners feel seen, heard, and supported. And that's a beautiful thing. Right then, love. Now we've talked about why women might fancy a bloke who takes the lead. But here's the thing, letting go, that's a whole other kettle of fish, isn't it? You see, we're raised to be right independent lasses, aren't we? From day one, it's all about being strong, capable, and standing on our own 2 feet. We're told we can achieve anything, be anything, and we bloody well go for it, don't we? We climb career ladders, manage households, and raise families, all while juggling a million other things. It's empowering, innit? Knowing you've got this, that you don't need anyone to rescue you. So when it comes to relationships, it's no wonder we sometimes struggle to hand over the reins. It can feel unnatural, almost counterintuitive to suddenly take a step back after years of charging ahead. It's like that saying, if you want something done right, do it yourself, echoes in the back of our minds. And then there's the fear, isn't there? That little voice whispering, what if he messes it up? What if he doesn't have my best interests at heart? It's not that we don't trust our partners, love. It's just that letting go of control requires a certain level of vulnerability, doesn't it? We've all been there, haven't we? Putting our hearts on the line only to have them trampled on. It leaves its mark, makes you think twice before you hand over your heart, your happiness, to someone else. And it's not just about past hurts, is it? It's also about the fear of the unknown. When we're in control, we feel safe, secure, like we're steering the ship. But letting go? That means relinquishing control, trusting someone else to navigate the choppy waters. And that can be terrifying, can't it? We've got to talk about pride, don't we? Because let's be honest, we women, we're a proud bunch. We've worked hard to build our lives, our careers, our families. We've overcome obstacles, shattered glass ceilings, and proven time and again that we're more than capable of handling our own. So when it comes to relationships, it's not always easy to let go of that sense of ownership, is it? We've created a life we're proud of, a domain we rule with a loving but firm hand. And sometimes inviting someone else into that space, allowing them to make decisions, to share the responsibility, it can feel like we're giving up a part of ourselves. It's not that we don't want to share our lives with our partners. It's just that it's a delicate balance, isn't it? Finding that sweet spot where we can relinquish control without feeling like we're losing ourselves in the process. So here we are, caught in this tug of war, aren't we? On one hand, we long for a partner who leads, who takes charge, who provides a sense of security and direction. But on the other hand, we struggle to let go, to relinquish control, to fully embrace that support. It's a battle that rages within many of us, this internal conflict between our desire for a strong partner and our need for independence. And it's fueled by societal expectations, cultural norms, and even our own past experiences. It's enough to make your head spin, isn't it? Trying to reconcile these seemingly contradictory desires. But here's the thing, love. It doesn't have to be an either-or situation. We can have both. We can have a partner who leads and still maintain our independence. It's all about finding that balance, isn't it? That sweet spot where both partners feel respected, valued, and empowered. It's about creating a dynamic where leadership is shared, where decisions are made together, and where both partners feel comfortable expressing their needs and desires. It's not always easy, mind you. It takes work, communication, and a willingness to be vulnerable with each other. But it's worth it, isn't it? To have a partner who supports your dreams, who encourages your independence, and who's there to catch you when you stumble. Love. Relationships can be right confusing, can't they? It's like you want one thing, but then when you get it, a part of you pulls back. It's this paradox of desire and resistance, especially when it comes to leadership. We might long for a bloke who takes charge, but then we find ourselves second-guessing his every move. It's like this internal battle, innit? We want to feel safe, secure, and looked after, but we also want to feel independent and capable. And sometimes those two desires feel like they're on a collision course. It's enough to give you whiplash, trying to figure out what you really want. We might find ourselves saying, "I want a man who can lead," but then turning around and micromanaging every little detail. It's not that we don't trust our partner's love. It's just that letting go can be bloody terrifying, can't it? It's like handing over the reins of our lives and hoping for the best. You see, a lot of it boils down to control, doesn't it? We spend our lives trying to create a sense of order in a world that often feels chaotic. We work hard, we make plans, and we try to anticipate every potential pitfall. It's exhausting, innit? But it gives us a sense of security, of knowing what's what. So when we're in a relationship and our partner steps up to lead, it can feel like we're losing a bit of that control. We might find ourselves second-guessing his decisions, questioning his judgment, and even taking over tasks that he's perfectly capable of handling. It's like a reflex, innit? That urge to step in and take charge, even when we know it's not necessary. And it's not because we don't think our partners are capable. It's because letting go of control, even just a little bit, can feel incredibly vulnerable. Now, it's important to remember, love, that wanting a man to lead doesn't mean we want to be dominated or controlled. It's not about handing over our power and becoming passive bystanders in our own lives. It's about finding a balance, isn't it? A partnership where both people feel respected, valued, and heard. When we talk about wanting a man to lead, we're often talking about wanting a partner who's confident, decisive, and proactive. Someone who's not afraid to take charge in a situation and who can provide a sense of stability and direction. It's about knowing that we can rely on our partners, that they'll have our backs, and that they'll be there to support us, even when the going gets tough. It's about feeling safe enough to relinquish some of that control, knowing that we're not doing it alone. But letting go, love, that takes trust, doesn't it? And trust, well, that's a tricky thing, isn't it? It's not something that happens overnight. It's built slowly over time through shared experiences, open communication, and a willingness to be vulnerable with each other. When we trust our partners, when we truly believe that they have our best interests at heart, letting go becomes a little bit easier. We're able to relinquish some of that control, knowing that we're not putting ourselves at risk. It's like learning to dance, isn't it? It takes two to tango, as they say. And just like in a dance, there's a certain amount of give and take, of leading and following that's required to create something beautiful. So how do we navigate this push and pull, this desire for leadership and the struggle to let go? Well, love, it all comes down to communication, doesn't it? We need to be able to talk to our partners about our wants and needs, our fears and insecurities, without feeling judged or dismissed. We need to be honest with ourselves about what we're truly looking for in a partner and what we're willing to compromise on. And we need to be able to communicate those things to our partners in a way that's clear, respectful, and compassionate. It's not always easy, mind you. It takes courage to be vulnerable, to open ourselves up to the possibility of being hurt. But it's the only way to build the kind of trust and intimacy that allows us to truly let go and embrace the support that's being offered. Now, love, finding that balance, that sweet spot where both partners feel empowered and supported, that's the key, isn't it? It's not about one person being the boss and the other following blindly. It's about recognizing that we all have different strengths, different areas where we shine, and different ways of approaching challenges. Shared leadership, that's what we're aiming for, isn't it? It's about recognizing that both partners have valuable perspectives, skills, and insights to offer. It's about creating a space where both people feel comfortable taking the lead when it's their area of expertise and stepping back gracefully when it's not. It's a bit like running a business, innit? You wouldn't expect the marketing manager to suddenly take over the finances, would you? Each person has their role, their area of expertise, and when everyone plays to their strengths, the whole operation runs smoother. Section 2, Small Steps, Big Impact, Building Confidence Through Action. Now, if you're used to taking charge, love, it can be tricky to let go, even a little bit. And that's all right. It's about building trust gradually, taking small steps, and celebrating the victories along the way. Start with the little things, the everyday decisions that don't feel quite so high stakes. Let him plan a date night, choose a restaurant, or even just decide what to have for tea. It might not seem like much, but those small acts of leadership can go a long way in building confidence, both in him and in yourself. It's about showing him that you trust his judgment, that you value his input, and that you're willing to let him take the lead, even in small ways. And who knows, love, you might even be surprised by how much you enjoy letting someone else take the reins for a change.
Know you've been a good friend, and that's in the thick and thin, and I know it's never gonna...
Section 3, We Before Me, Fostering a Team Mentality. One of the biggest hurdles we face, love, is that voice in our heads that screams, "But I can do it better." It's that little bit of pride, that need to be in control, that can sabotage even the strongest relationships. So how do we silence that voice? By shifting our perspective, by embracing a we before me mentality. It's about remembering that we're on the same team, love. We're not competing against each other. We're working together towards a common goal, a happy, healthy, and fulfilling relationship. So the next time you find yourself about to jump in and take over, take a breath and ask yourself, is this really my battle to fight? Or can I trust my partner to handle this? You might be surprised by how often the answer is the latter. Section 4, The Power of Ritual, Creating Space for Shared Decision-Making. Life can get hectic, can't it? We're juggling work, family, friends, and a million other things. It's easy to let communication slide, to fall into patterns where one person takes on more than their fair share. That's why it's so important to create rituals, love, dedicated times where you can come together and make decisions as a team. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. A weekly check-in over a cuppa, a Sunday evening planning session, or even just a quick chat before bed. The important thing is that you're creating a space where both partners feel comfortable expressing their thoughts, concerns, and ideas. It's about making sure that everyone feels heard, respected, and valued. To Section 5, Embracing the Journey, a continuous dance of growth. Finding that balance, love. It's not a destination, is it? It's a journey, a continuous dance of growth, compromise, and communication. There will be times when you nail it, when you move together with grace and ease. And there will be times when you step on each other's toes, when resentment festers, and when you question everything. And that's all right. Relationships are messy, love. They're a constant work in progress. The important thing is that you're both committed to the dance, to learning from your mistakes, and to finding a rhythm that works for you. So keep talking to each other, love. Keep listening, keep compromising, and keep growing together. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Finding someone who makes you want to be your best self, who challenges you to grow, and who supports you every step of the way. Section 1, The Foundation of Letting Go. Now, love, we've talked a lot about finding balance, haven't we? About sharing leadership and all that. But none of it works, not really, without a solid foundation of trust. It's like building a house on sand, isn't it? It might look grand for a bit, but the first storm that comes along, it's all going to come tumbling down. Trust, it's the glue that holds it all together, isn't it? It's what allows us to relax, to let go of that need for control, and to truly embrace the support that's being offered. It's knowing deep down that our partners have our best interests at heart, even when they're making decisions we might not necessarily agree with. It's about feeling safe enough to be vulnerable, to let our guard down, and to show our true selves without fear of judgment or rejection. And that, my love, is a precious, precious thing. Section 2. Respect the cornerstone of trust. But trust, it doesn't just magically appear, does it? It's earned slowly and steadily through mutual respect, open communication, and consistent actions that align with words. Respect, that's where it all begins, isn't it? It's about valuing your partner's opinions, even when they differ from your own. It's about listening with an open heart, seeking to understand their perspective, even if you don't necessarily agree with it. It's about recognizing their strengths, appreciating their contributions, and never ever making them feel small or insignificant. It's about treating each other with kindness, consideration, and compassion, even when you're stressed, tired, or just plain grumpy. Because at the end of the day, love, respect is the foundation upon which all lasting relationships are built. Section 3. Actions speak louder. Building confidence through consistency. Now words, they're important, aren't they? But when it comes to building trust, actions speak louder, don't they? It's all well and good saying you'll do something, but it's following through time and time again that truly builds confidence and deepens that bond. If you want your partner to trust you to lead, love, you need to show her that you're reliable, that you're true to your word, and that you'll always have her back, no matter what. It's about being there for the big things, of course, but it's also about the little things, isn't it? It's about taking out the bins without being asked, picking up her favorite chocolate bar on the way home from work, or simply remembering to ask about her day and genuinely listening to her response. It's about those small, everyday acts of love and consideration that show her, without a shadow of a doubt, that you're in her corner. But here's the thing. Love. Trust is a two-way street, isn't it? It's not just about her trusting you to lead. It's also about you trusting her to trust you. It's about letting go of that need to control every little detail, to micromanage every decision, and to second-guess her every move. It's about having faith in her judgment, in her ability to make sound decisions, and in her love for you. It's about recognizing that she's a strong, capable woman who's perfectly capable of handling herself, even when you're not there holding her hand every step of the way. It's about giving her the space to breathe, to make her own choices, and to learn from her own mistakes. Because at the end of the day, love, the greatest gift you can give her, the greatest act of trust you can offer, is to trust her to trust you. So there we have it, love. It's a lot to unpack, isn't it? This whole dance of wanting a man to lead but then struggling to let go. It's a delicate balance, that's for sure. But you see, that's the beauty of partnership, isn't it? It's not about one person being the hero and the other playing the damsel in distress. It's about recognizing that we all have strengths and weaknesses, that we all have times when we need to step up and take charge, and times when we need to step back and let someone else take the reins. It's about finding that sweet spot where both partners feel seen, heard, and supported, where each person's strengths complement the others, creating a bond that's stronger than either could achieve alone. Think of it like a garden, love. You wouldn't expect a rose to be a sunflower, would you? Each flower has its own unique beauty, its own way of reaching for the sun. And it's the same in a relationship. We all have different gifts to offer, different ways of expressing love and support. And it's when we embrace those differences, when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable and to lean on each other, that the true magic happens. It's not always easy, mind you. Relationships take work, love. They require patience, understanding, and a willingness to keep showing up even when it's hard, even when you'd rather run for the hills. But the rewards, oh, they're worth it, aren't they? To experience that deep sense of connection, that feeling of knowing you're not alone in the world, that someone's got your back no matter what, well, that's a precious, precious thing. So embrace the dance, love. Embrace the ebb and flow of giving and receiving, of leading and following. Allow yourself to be vulnerable, to trust your partner, and to let go of that need for control. Because it's in those moments of surrender, when we let go of our expectations and allow ourselves to be fully present, that we truly experience the depth and richness that love has to offer. So, the next time you find yourself struggling in that push and pull, love, remember this. It's okay to want a man who leads. It's okay to crave that sense of security, that feeling of knowing someone's got your back. But it's equally okay to struggle with letting go, to wrestle with that need for independence, that desire to maintain a sense of control. It's all part of the journey, love. And the most important thing is that you're both committed to figuring it out together. Keep talking, keep listening, keep showing up for each other, even when it's hard. Because at the end of the day, love, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Finding someone who makes you want to be your best self, who challenges you to grow, and who supports you every step of the way. And who knows, love, you might just surprise yourselves with what you create together.